Okay, that says 30 degrees. That might be right. It's about 20 after 7 on the 15th. Happy birthday to my mom. I thought I'd be 100 miles from home by now. Sun is just about to come up. I got the bike rolled out. Bird. So when the sun comes up, it'll start charging. It's obviously not loaded yet. So let's see what's changed and happened in the last few days. I thought I was ready to go yesterday. Had 40-mile-an-hour winds. I actually had the bike outside, was loading it, and then the wind kicked up, and I took it for a quick test ride around the yard. And I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. So I took it back inside, and that gave me some time to work on some of the ideas. So in the last week, I've added this cargo rack on the back. That was a rack I had made for one of the bicycles, so I knew it would fit. And what that does is it lets me put some of the bulky or heavy stuff way to the back, because these tires are probably good for about 100 pounds each, right? Well, what happened was the battery box is really heavy, and that's right above the rear tire. And that tire was just looking bad. I mean, it was super overloaded, putting me there, plus all the heavy stuff, tools would be about here. And so I was like, okay, if I can move some of the stuff further back. So one of the things that I've got a backpack that my sleeping bag just fits into. So the sleeping bag could be way back here. That doesn't weigh anything, but that used to be in the cargo box that was here. And that took up a lot of space. Okay. So I got the sleeping bag out of the cargo box. Now I can put some of the other stuff down into the cargo box, which is down low. That's where you want the weight. Okay. Because I kept pushing stuff up higher. The batteries were super heavy. I mean, lithium ion, or these are lithium iron phosphate batteries, but they're relatively light compared to old batteries, but it's still a lot of weight. That box used to be completely full. It's now, I figured 3/8. I took the smaller battery pack instead. So I cut my battery capacity down quite a bit, but if I have a decent amount of sun, I think we'll be fine. If I got, say 100 watts coming in, it's never going to be 100 watts. But it's a 250 watt motor, but I never run full throttle, right? So once you're up to cruise, kind of like your car, once you're cruising, you don't use 350 horsepower. You just kind of blip along. So I don't need, where you need super big batteries is if you had a really long hill on a cloudy day. Okay, it'll happen, but worst case, I just slow down for a while. Not a big deal. I mean, I can still pedal. I will be pedaling, so any slack, I'll just make up the slack. And the sun is up. You can see the shadow now. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm more ready than I was a week ago. I've had time to work on a couple things, tweak things. Now we see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to save this, and then I will add a clip when we actually get moving. Cool. Yay, I'm excited. I was terrified a week ago, but now I think I'm through that, and now it's time to go. Just a quick shot of the actual sun coming up. Beautiful. All right, a few minutes after 10. I've been watching these benches. They were full of stuff. It's all on the bike. This is probably worst case scenario, honestly. I've got a lot of snacks that I'm going to eat and then not replace as many, but it was like I had them, so it kind of made sense to bring them. I'd stocked up a while ago, and then never ate them. And I'm like, I was saving them for the trip, and I'm like, wait, it's too much. Oh, I see what I was like, I had leftover bungees. Why do I have leftover bungees? The top one never got tied down. Otherwise, we're basically ready to roll. So, yay. See if we make it this time. All right, goodbye ranch. We're on the outside of the gate. Locked and loaded, ready to go. 10:40 in the morning. We'll call this the teepees. It's a roadside picnic area, no restrooms. I'm about 20 miles from home, so we're just getting started. It's about almost 1:30 now. You always start off with great ideas, and then it takes you longer to get out than you think, but things are working well so far. Bike seems to be doing good. I'm getting a little bit of an kind of a tail waggy. I'm not sure if it's where the load is or the crosswind or whatever. So it's got a tendency to do this and then, kind of fishtail. So I think that'll get better though as I use up some of the snacks and stuff. Anyway, yeah, things are going good. Glad to get started finally. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, am I ever going to get off the ranch? I'm picking up a little bit of speed now that I'm on the blacktop. That first, getting to the little town, getting to Sierra Blanca, oh man. Because I have an idea how long it should take, right? And I'm not as fast as normal, so I'm packing a lot of weight. But so far the solar's working good. The batteries are keeping a good charge. Every time I stop, I can see it's going up a little bit, so that's good. For the next, we got a really steep hill and then a long gradual downhill. Steep downhill and then a long gradual downhill. Unfortunately, my bike doesn't have regen, so I'm not going to get any battery charge going down the hill, but at least I can, kick back and rest for a second or two. So I was kind of like, should I stop now? But I'm like, what I'm really thinking is for the first week or two, I'm going to purposely not push too hard, don't burn out, don't wear myself out. So if I think I need a break, I'll stop and take a break and get off the bike. Because, the biggest thing is I haven't been doing the training rides that I should have been doing. But what I realized was, one, the bike wasn't ready. Things like batteries just were not cooperating. So I didn't have the bike that I needed to have a month ago, really. It was the wind. I was really hoping to go out and do 100-mile days once or twice a week, just, for testing and for training. And I never did it, so. But I figured, all right, rather than staying home and training, just get the thing as good as I could, take a lot of tools along, and we'll just dial it in as we ride. So we'll kind of do our training on the way. It's middle of March now. So let's see, 2 weeks in March, 4 weeks in April, and most of May. So I've got about 10 weeks to get to San Francisco. That's where the Sun Trip race is. So I should have plenty of time. In fact, I think I can do it. I should have like several weeks spare time. So I'll ride, do my best, and then get to a place, like maybe in California where it's warmer and take some downtime kind of thing. So, but I figured if I left early, that would be better, which is good because it took me a week longer to get off the ranch than I thought. So anyway, I'm gonna eat my snack and drink my water and get on down the road. Had one of the batteries go offline just as I was coming into the gas station here, so I got 3 12-volt packs that are wired in series when I'm riding, but if one pack goes offline, I need to jump start it, so I just hooked them all in parallel, and I've got a voltmeter showing, so it's up to 12.6 now, so it seems like it's working, so I'm going to let that sit for a while. It'll take the 2 good packs and charge up the bad one, and then when the morning comes, then we can solar charge again. Rolled in here just at sunset. I just wanted to get this shot though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a solar-powered bicycle is a good idea. Oh, also I set my cot up already. I didn't bother bringing a tent, and I'm not on any level ground here, but you throw the cot down on gravel, doesn't matter. I don't have to go find a nice spot for my tent. Plus, it's a good place to put my tools while I'm troubleshooting. Yeah, life is good. And it's nice of them to provide me some lights, so gotta love that. Anyway, I got, this is Fabens on I-10. I've been riding on Highway 20, Texas Highway 20, which is, if you see that string of lights, that's there's a bunch of little towns right along the border. It's a secondary highway, and then on this side is the freeway. I try to stay off the freeway as much as I can. If you see those lights out here, those are rest stops. I was going to go there, but I was just about pooped, and I missed. There's a crossroad that would have come across, so it's about a mile back to that, and it involves going down a hill and then back up a hill. And the battery just went offline in the last, couple seconds as I was coming in here. And I'm looking down, and I'm like, you know what? The whole idea of going to the rest stop is so that there was a restroom for the morning and water. Well, these guys got restrooms, and it's a truck stop. So I'm like, you know what? I think this will work just fine. Anybody cares? I got a CDL still. And my reflective vest there is from the trucking company I used to work at, so if I'm feeling inferior, I'll put that on and walk inside and people think I'm a truck driver. I probably smell just about the same. Also, in the morning, I'll try to get some of the dust off the panel, but no sense doing it tonight. Don't think we got a forecast for much wind tonight, so we should be okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna eat some food and drink some fluids, and I don't know, it's almost 8 o'clock. I'm not quite ready to go to bed yet, but if I could be ready to go and then let the sun charge in the morning instead of waiting until 10:30 to leave, we should be in a lot better shape. I'm guessing probably another 50-mile day will put me into New Mexico. We're at mile marker, I forget now, right around 50. So it's 50 miles to New Mexico, right? So if I do a day like today, I should be in New Mexico tomorrow night. And there's another rest stop that I already mapped out, and more truck stops. So yeah, break camp, get ready to go in, use the restroom, grab a cup of coffee, hit the road. Life is good. Thanks for following along. Stay tuned.